Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is the Sunshine Zee channel. My name is Zee and I welcome you if it's your first time, and a special shout out to my subscribers. As always, you are much appreciated. I hope that you are all keeping well and safe. It's the end of the 9th month of the year. We're about to enter the 10th month of the year. I actually can't believe how fast this year has gone by. 2021 is almost over, and with 3 months left to the year, I thought it would be appropriate for me to talk about what we'll be discussing on today's episode. So let's get right into it. Today's episode is titled Evaluate, and I wanted us to speak about evaluating and reviewing our goals. Most of us, when the year begins or the month begins or the quarter, some of us even when the week begins, we write out our goals. I do hope that you are writing them down, because if you don't write them down, I don't know how you can even get to evaluating them, because most times you're going to forget what it is that you had set out to do. So I really hope that whether you write it on a piece of paper, on a journal, or on your phone, using notes, whatever it is, I really advise that you write down your goals. After writing down your goals, the next step is obviously to try and work towards those goals. But as mentioned, I feel like we miss the part where we need to evaluate how we are doing with our goals. Are you evaluating how far you are in terms of your savings goals, educational goals, family goals, or even fitness goals? Is there a way that you are using to say, okay, this is how I'm going to evaluate them? And I think that we don't do this because we don't take ourselves seriously enough. If you think about it, at most companies, I'm actually quite certain at all companies, there is some form of reviews that happen, whether it be quarterly, half yearly, but there are reviews where you sit down with your line manager or whoever, your supervisor, and you review how your performance has been. Now, how come you don't do this with your own personal goals? How come you don't say, okay, I set out to save a certain amount of money? Why don't you go into the account and say, okay, have I saved up as much as I would have liked to? And what that will lead to is for you to face the facts, because perhaps you're not reaching your goals because you're spending money on other things, you know. Actually, I don't want to talk too much about money, but the reality is most of us don't reach our goals because we don't evaluate. We don't go back and say, what am I doing? Am I doing it right? Is it working? Is it not working? How can I change my approach in order to get myself better results? And just quickly, I'm going to go through 3 benefits of evaluating your goals. The 3 benefits of evaluating and reviewing your goals, in my opinion, are as follows. Number 1, when you evaluate your goals, it will help you keep accountable. Now, it would be great if you had an accountability partner. I find that that works very well, because this is somebody else that you've told about your goal, and that person will regularly check in with you and say, hey, how's that goal going? So that's another form of evaluation, is actually having an accountability partner. However, even if you don't have one, I think evaluating and reviewing your goals helps keep you accountable, and it encourages you to remain disciplined, especially if you're doing well. Now, obviously, if you're not doing so well, you know at the back of your mind that I am not doing so well. I am not exercising as I should be, and therefore I am not going to lose the weight or whatever it is that you set out to do. But don't run away from evaluating your goals just because you know that you have not been doing well, right? You're not always going to get everything right with the first try. So say year number 1, 2021, you have not met most of your goals, but you still need to evaluate and see where did you go wrong in order for you to attempt it again, maybe in 2021, or even just like the next month you can start over. It doesn't mean that just because we are nearing the end of the year you should wait until January to start something. You can start something now, and I do hope that you will. The number 2 benefit of evaluating and reviewing your goals is that it will motivate you. I don't know about you, but I really like seeing progress. So as I said, if in month 1 you didn't meet your goals, evaluate, review. What did I do? How can I do it better? And in month 2, even a small change can motivate you, because we're not looking for, progress in leaps and bounds. We're looking for small progress, because that small progress leads to another bit of progress, and at the end of a certain period, whatever time period you've set out for yourself, you'll realize that you've accomplished so much in just that period, but not overnight. Just remember that it's not going to be overnight. You're likely maybe to fail a couple of times before you start getting it right. The trick here is not to give up. So motivate yourself by going back to see, hey, 3 months ago I was only managing to save 2% of my salary, but now I'm up to 6%. And yes, it might not be big, but it is something, and it will keep you going. The number 3 reason that I think that you should evaluate and review your goals is that it will help you to grow. So as mentioned earlier on, sometimes we don't want to go back and evaluate our goals because we know what we did wrong, and we feel as though I have failed at this, so I'm just going to leave it and I'm going to continue with life and pretend I never even had this goal. But by not going back and by pretending that it never even happened, you are not growing. Growth is something that happens not when you're succeeding constantly at something, but as I said, it's bit by bit. So how you grow is by slowly overcoming whatever challenges, whatever hurdles that you're coming across. That's how you grow, right? So for example, if you're not a runner, they say start with a walk. So you start with a very nice stroll, right? And after a couple of weeks of doing the stroll, you realize, hey, I'm able to cover more distance, or I've increased in pace. From there you move on to maybe a faster walk. From a faster walk you move on to perhaps a slow jog, or even running. So that progression is what growth is about. You don't just wake up and say, hey, I want to become a better version of myself, and instantly become that. That is not realistic. Realistically speaking, you are going to fail along the way. You're going to try out methods that are not going to work, and the only way you'll know whether that method is not working is by going back and evaluating it. I like how Einstein defines insanity, which he says is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Now, in order for you to avoid doing the same thing in the same exact method, the only way you can see where you're going wrong and trying a different way is if you evaluate the way that you did it previously. So it's only by reviewing what you have done and whether or not it has worked that you'll be able to do it better in future, and in that way you will grow. That being said, I would like to take a moment to talk about my own journey of evaluating. I don't always get it right. I try to evaluate everything that I do, and one of the things that I came across when I look at some of my stats, fortunately with YouTube you've got the analytics. At the moment, because this channel is still small, I don't have a lot of data analytics that I can use to make certain decisions. However, I have noted that as much as I post my videos on a Tuesday, a lot of people tend to only watch towards the end of the week, and my videos are mostly watched during the weekend. I guess it makes sense because that's maybe when people have time to watch it. So I've decided to tweak it up a little bit. So I am going to be posting my videos on a Thursday, so please do look out for my videos on a Thursday. I do sincerely apologize to anyone who was looking out for my video on Tuesday and did not find any video posted. I will now be posting on Thursday. What will help you know when I post is if you switch on that notification bell. That way, even when I switch things up, but I will try and communicate. I'm really sorry for not communicating this time. But if you have the notifications bell on, it will help you to know exactly when I post. So yes, I look forward to more of your feedback, because that's also part of my evaluation process, and that's perhaps something that you can also do in your life, is not only look at things from your point of view, because there are blind spots and there might be other things that you're not aware of, even if they're not blind spots. But it's always just good to get feedback from somebody else, maybe somebody a bit more knowledgeable, or somebody who's a customer of yours or subscriber of your channel. So I really do appreciate any feedback that is given to me. As mentioned, YouTube can only give me so much in terms of analytics and things like that, but you as a subscriber can give me some feedback that I can use and apply in all my future videos. That way you can help me grow through that review. For this week's random fact of the week, I'm going to speak about something that I hope does not make you hungry, because I'm speaking about a snack and I've been craving this since just the other day. So I'm sorry if I'm making you crave this as well. I actually haven't fulfilled that craving yet, but we'll see what we can do about that. It's my absolute favorite snack, and it's Pringles. Yes. So the other day I'm watching a video and they showed that apparently there's Pringles that come in a packet, and the person was saying, are they even Pringles if they come in a packet? And I agree. I don't know. I'm not even interested in Pringles that come in a packet, because Pringles need to come in that container. And I actually went into Wikipedia to find out more facts about it. And one thing I didn't expect is that they were created so long ago, in 1956, if I'm not mistaken, by a guy called Frederick somebody. I'll include the details somewhere. But so I was just trying to find out just info. As you know, I am curious about why it was created, and obviously, you know, they stacked them because people had been complaining about how potato chips normally crack, which I get that Pringles normally don't crack, but nowadays you find Pringles that crack. I don't know, am I the only one who finds like a whole that container, like maybe half of them would be cracked? But still, I buy them for the taste and I guess the container. But yeah, that was the whole point, is to have potato chips that don't crack and are non-greasy. So that's not even the random fact of the week. What I found to be interesting is what I found out about the guy who came up with these, who was a chemist named Frederick. And he was born in 1918 and he passed away in 2008. And this is what I found to be intriguing, is that his remains are inside a Pringle container. How weird is that? I find it to be a bit weird. I mean, I know the guy came up with the whole concept and everything, and I mean, it's a very popular brand, and I mean, I think it's one of those brands that will probably be popular for many years to come. I get that. I mean, they are an iconic brand of potato chips, but really, being buried in one? Oh, not buried, but having your remains in one? I don't know. So that's my random fact of the week. Do you think it's weird? Am I the only one who thinks it's a bit weird? And by the way, his remains are in the can, the original can, which I believe is the red can. My favorite ones are the ones in the green can. I think that's the sour something. I'm not quite sure. I'll put it up here somewhere, but I think it is one of the most popular ones, well, in my opinion anyways, because when I go to the shops I hardly find them sometimes, especially if like they are on special. That particular flavor is usually sold out. So I hope you found that interesting. Thank you for watching this video until the very end. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, share it with somebody, download it if you must. But yeah, I really appreciate the support when it comes to this channel, and please do take care until the next time. Love and light to you all.